Wonderful. All right, thanks, Rick.
Thanks
oh, we've got a special guest here
Guess
on the
who's
couch.
here?
Hello, Miss Farino.
Dana
so
Farino.
glad.
I don't know why everyone's sitting so far away from me.
You're kidding.
You like got
Why are you sitting
directions
so
to
far
move.
away from Tucker? What's wrong?
Come here, Dana.
Scoot in a little closer.
Don't be
It's
afraid
great
of
to see
Tucker.
you this
I love
morning.
being here on Fox and Friends and
He
to see you,
won't bite.
Julia. It's
Good
great.
seeing you.
So we've got to get your view of what is going on in Donald Trump world. So in case our viewers haven't seen it, I want to replay the tape. This happened Thursday at a rally he was holding in New Hampshire. First question he took came from a guy who's off camera. We don't see his face, but he asked this, and we've been hearing about it ever since. Watch.
We have a problem in this country. It's called Muslims. We know our current president is one.
Right.
You know he's not even an American.
We need this
birth
question. This is
certificates,
the first
man.
question.
But anyway, we have training camps growing where they want to kill us. That's my question. When can we get rid of
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
So you saw his reaction. We need this question. Like, he's not agreeing with it. Why does he have a moral obligation to defend the president in this or any other venue?
Well, hold on. So, okay, I do think that there's a possibility that this question, we've never seen the questioner, which I think is strange. I'm like, okay, so who was this? You have to deal with the fact that there will be your fringe on your left or your right. Like the Democrats have to deal with Black Lives Matter. Right. And on your right, you're going to have possibly things like this. I do think it's curious that this guy hasn't wanted to be on TV since he clearly wanted to make a point.
Well,
and
the
get
guy who
news
claims he's him emailed me this morning and said, I'm the guy.
Let's see him. I'd love to see him because I am curious. But okay. Then Donald Trump's camp says that the reason he didn't respond is because he didn't hear the question. But if you look at what Donald Trump just said, he says, like, we need this question. Okay, so I don't understand.
To me, like, he's kind of blowing the guy off. Like,
and I can understand that.
Next question,
but he doesn't necessarily want that. But there was a time when Donald Trump really wanted attention on this issue. Hillary Clinton started it in 2008. The whole birtherism piece, that's where her campaign circulated, the questions about, oh, he was born in Kenya. But Donald Trump took that, poured gasoline on it, and lit the match. And Republicans have been trying to deal with that ever since. So I think that they should have, number one, been prepared for the question. Number two, I don't think that he is going to get away with not talking about it at all. I thought it was clever. His tweet this morning, I think we have it here.
So here's his tweet. Let's read this.
It's a good response.
So here's Donald Trump's response this morning to this whole issue. He says, this is the first time in my life that I've caused controversy by not saying something.
Okay, and you know what? For people that support him, I think that that's clever, and they want him to move on. By not going to South Carolina yesterday, where he was scheduled to be, where all the other, I think 11 candidates were there to talk to the Heritage Action Group. He was scheduled to go. Then all of a sudden, he was not scheduled to go because it was there was a business deal that he needed to work on. Okay, fine. But I think that undercuts two of his strongest points if you're one of his supporters. The first one is that he doesn't back down from anything. He doesn't deal with he doesn't succumb to PC media baloney. So there's that. Number
he
two,
says he's got a big business deal going on. That's why he had to cancel the event.
Right, but I'm saying, like, all of a sudden, but then it undercuts another point, which is the other night he said, nobody else here has to sacrifice like I do. I'm the one losing business. But basically, it's worth it because I want to be the president of the United States and make this country great again. Well, okay, so then why is the business deal more important than going to the event?
Here's the point that I'm intrigued by. The birther stuff, I agree, is silly, and who cares? But the Christian question is interesting. You've seen a bunch of other candidates and Hillary Clinton say, he's a Christian. How dare you suggest otherwise? Now, I have no idea what the president believes. It's not my business. I know how he acts. You talk to any Orthodox Christian in this country, and I would say the majority of them feel under attack by this administration, which is bristling with hostility toward Orthodox Christianity, bristling with it. I could cite 10 examples. Why shouldn't that be a topic of conversation?
Well, I think it could, except for that I think that it's also been proven, like, look at Dr. Ben Carson.
Yes.
He went through the same thing, where he had a huge controversy where he was like, he basically whiffs on a question about Obama's religion. The thing that I don't understand also is that the Democrats seem like it's such an insult to be called a Muslim.
Well, that's such a
weird.
such a great point.
It's not an insult to be a Muslim. I'm not saying that. I don't comment on anybody's personal beliefs. I got enough problems of my own. I got to work on myself.
Okay, so Donald Trump is trying to deal now with this whole situation. His tweet addresses it. Now let's move on to Carly Fiorina, sort of climbing up the ladder there and actually surpassing Donald Trump in the New Hampshire poll.
Well, yes, although I think that she's more like, it's more like she's done well to bring herself up and maybe,
which is typically what happens early on in these debates.
Neck and neck with some things. Yeah, you know what's interesting is that still 66% of Republican voters say they're still shopping around for a candidate. And Frank Luntz and his focus group on Megyn Kelly right after the debate showed that, show of hands, who here came in planning to vote for Donald Trump? Lots of people raised their hand. How many people here have changed their mind? Lots of people raised their hand. So people are still sort of window shopping.
So there's a lot of fluidity here.
Right.
But
they haven't bought the dress yet.
Well, what about the criticism from the other candidates, Scott Walker and others, saying, look, this was pre-planned, that they were going to wanted Carly Fiorina, this narrative from CNN or whomever in the media that she did well in the Fox debate, and so we're going to propel her to the front of this. That's why everyone's talking about Carly Fiorina. Is that them just being sore losers?
I think that would be persuasive if she hadn't done well. But she did do well, she earned her spot at the CNN debate. She was very good in the debate, and also she's been working very hard. Not that the other candidates haven't. I do think Scott Walker has a legitimate complaint. This is a governor that got 2 questions in 3 hours. Right. He interjected 5 times. He deserved a little bit more. At that same Heritage Action event that I was mentioning that Donald Trump didn't go to, Scott Walker got great reception. People said, oh, I actually want to hear from him. He's back in Iowa tonight. I talked to his team this morning, and they think that this focus on Iowa could show that there's some movement there for them.
Really quickly, I was so impressed by Fiorina. I think a lot of people were. Is this enduring? Is this a real thing?
Yes. Yeah, I think absolutely. And because it's not built on a house of cards. Right. She's been slowly building this up, and as people got to know her, her name ID is increasing. She deserved that place on the stage.
Huge Google spikes from people searching, wanted to know more about her record when she was attacked by Trump and Christie on her record as CEO. So more on that. But meanwhile, we're going to have you stick around if we can, because we want to talk about Hillary Clinton this morning. Hillary Clinton's campaign struggling, rumors swirling that Joe Biden ready to run. So what does that look like for the future of the Democrats? Dana Perino will stick around for that.